My name is Lauren, and today I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking about the new Norvina palette from Anastasia. For this video, I'm going to give you my first impressions, I'm going to do swatches, and I'm going to do 3 looks with the palette. If you're interested in seeing all of this, then please keep on watching and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Let's get started! Alright, so first off is the outer box, which is this nice light purple color, and it looks pretty much like all the other boxes that their palettes come in. And I'm going to open it up, and here is the palette. The package has the same kind of felt like all the other Anastasia palettes. And now to open it up, whoop, there's the plastic thing, and here's the palette. There's got a nice big mirror and the 14 shades. The top row is all shimmers. I think they call them metallics on the website, and then the bottom are all supposed to be mattes. Here are all of the shades. Okay, well, just with looking at the palette, I love all the colors and I can't wait to start playing with it. So let's get into the swatches. I'll be doing these swatches on my arm, and what I'm going to do first is a finger swatch, and then I'll do a brush swatch with this flat brush from e.l.f. And in between each color, I'm going to wipe off my hand and the brush on a paper towel. Okay, first off is the color Dreamer, which is this beautiful, like, champagne-y gold. Look at that. That is beautiful. And here's the brush swatch of Dreamer. Next is the shade called Summer, which is this beautiful bronze. And here's a brush swatch of Summer. Next is a beautiful pink called Wild Child. And here's the brush swatch of Wild Child. Here we have the shade Rose Gold, which is this beautiful, like, deeper, I don't even know, like, darker purpley toned bronze. It's really beautiful. And here is the brush swatch. Next up is this beautiful purple called Celestial. And I don't know if you can see in the swatch, but it has flecks of blue and purple, and I see some pink, I think, definitely in there. And here's a brush swatch of Celestial. I'm sure that these brush swatches would look better if I was doing them wet, but I wanted to just do them dry. Next we have the shade Dazzling, which is another kind of bronze color. Ooh, this one's really shimmery and bright. Look at that. And here is the brush swatch for Dazzling. And the last shimmer is this really dark purple called Drama. And here's Drama with the brush. Okay, and here is the swatch of all the shimmer colors in the palette. Now moving on to the mattes, here is the first one, which is an off-white called Base. Here is Base on a brush. Next is this beautiful pastel purple called Soul. And this actually looks like it has a little bit of sparkle in it, so I don't think this is actually matte. Here is Soul with my brush. Next is a nice light brown called Incense. And here is Incense on my brush. The next shade in the palette is this pink called Love. And just like Soul, I think that Love has a little bit of shine to it. So it's not a glitter, but it definitely isn't matte either. Here's Love with my brush. Next is another brown, this one called Volatile. And here's Volatile with my brush. The next shade is this muddy orange called Eccentric. And here's Eccentric with my brush. Now for the last shade in the palette, this is Passion. And here's Passion with the brush. And there you have it. Here are all of the swatches of the entire palette. I think the glitters all swatched really well. They felt nice and buttery and creamy. And the mattes all felt pretty good too. Obviously they're going to be drier than the shimmers. And of course swatches aren't always the best metric on whether a shadow is going to perform well on your eyes or not. But I'm happy with these swatches. I think they all felt and look really good. Okay, Okay, well now I'm super excited after all the swatches, so let's jump into playing with these on the eyes. Oh, I feel so sad washing these off. For the first look with this palette, I couldn't help but jump into the glitters. So I created this eye using a lot of the glitters kind of as a gradient across the lid, blended out with some of the warm shade mattes. And here's how I did it. Okay, first off, I'm going to take this shade called Base, which is that light, like off-white kind of eggshell color. And just on a fluffy brush, I'm going to run that kind of all over my lid and above my crease. Just to have a nice little base, haha, because it's called Base, get it? Next, I'm going to take this shade Incense on my fluffy brush again. And I'm going to put this above my crease as my transition color. And I have a feeling that this is going to be a perfect transition color for me because it's not too deep. The way that I like to blend eyeshadows like this is I'll take the brush and I'll put it down right where I want the most of the color to go, so on the outer part of my eye, and then I blend it around in there and take it in when there's less product on my brush in these kind of windshield motions. And then once there's less eyeshadow on the brush, I just do these little swirls around the edges to blend the color out and to soften the edges. So far, this shade is blending out really nicely, but I can also build it up, so that is awesome. Okay, now that I have Incense on the way that I want it to be, I'm going to take this fluffy brush to blend out the edges. And this brush doesn't have any eyeshadow on it, it's just clean to help blend. I'm also going to take some of Incense under my eyes to connect up to the eyeshadow on the top, before I move on to more colors. To deepen and warm up my crease, I'm going to take Eccentric. And on my fluffy brush again, I'm going to do almost the same thing with this color to add some warmth and a little bit of that nice like burnt muted orange to this look. I think that will look really pretty. I really like colors like that are like a deep orange, but they're not like super bright in your face. They're like nice and muted. Kind of like mud. Which makes sense because I'm a geologist, so I like mud. So far, these shadows are blending really nicely. They remind me of my Modern Renaissance palette and also my Soft Glam palette. They seem to be similar to those two formulas. And just like before, I'm going to take a tiny bit of this under my eyes. Okay, so far this is looking great, all nice and blended and pretty. I'm going to deepen this look up further with some of this color called Passion. And I'm taking some of that on a smaller fluffy brush so that I can get it more precise in my crease. And I think I'm going to put some of this on the outer part of my eyelid as well. And before I start to blend it out, I'm going to again take a little bit of that on my lower lash line, this time on a smaller brush so that I can get it closer to my lashes. And I'm going to go back and forth between blending and adding more color until I get it to the way that I want it to be. Okay, now that I have the mattes done, I'm going to go in with the shimmers, and I'm so excited for this. I already know that I want these shades to be as bright as they possibly can be, so I'm going to take some of my NYX Glitter Glue and I'm going to put that on my lids before I get started with the shimmers. I like to take just a little bit of the glitter primer on my finger and then pat it on my lid where I'm going to put the shimmers, which is, in this case, going to be the entire lid, I think. I think the first shimmer that I'm going to take is Wild Child, this bright, beautiful pink. And I took some of that on this tiny little brush, and I'm going to pat it right on the inner part of my lid. Ooh, yes, look at that. Oh, that's pretty. And since I have the glitter primer down, it's going to stick and be really bright pretty easily, which is what I want. Next, I'm going to take some of Celestial, this beautiful purple. And I'm going to do the same thing with that, just patting that towards the middle of my lid. And I'm going to blend it in towards the pink shimmer too. Wow, that color is really pretty. Ah! Next to Celestial, I'm going to take some of Rose Gold. And I'm just going to put this on the exact same way farther out on my eyelid so that I get a nice gradient from the lighter colors to the darker colors. But they're all still going to be glittery. Now for the outer part of my lid, I'm going to take some of Drama. And with Drama, I'm going to really deepen out the outer part of my lid. I did get a little bit of fallout from that color, but I'm just going to sweep it away with this big fluffy brush. I'm going to take some of Drama along my lower lash line as well to really darken up this outer part. So I'm going to run it along my lashes, and I'm also going to connect it around my eye. I think I want to put a little bit of Celestial, that shimmery purple, under my eye as well. And because I want to, I'm going to put some of Wild Child, that pink, on my lower lash line as well. To highlight my inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to take Dreamer. To darken up the lower lash line, I'm going to take some eyeliner from my waterline, just black. Okay, almost done. Now all I need to do is curl my eyelashes and add some mascara. Here is the finished eye for look 1. I am loving this. I think it's really beautiful, and I love having that little pop of purple right there, but it's not too intense and it doesn't overpower. I think it looks awesome. And here's look 1 with my full face. Okay, time to move on to look 2. To begin look 2, I'm going to start off again by taking the color Base. And just like I did with look 1, I'm going to put that all over my lid to have a color down to blend on top of. Next, I'm going to pick up some of Soul on a smaller fluffy brush. And with this color, I'm going to put it on the outer part of my eye and the inner part of my eye, and then I'm going to connect it above. Because I think this time I'm going to do a halo eye. Once I have the general shape that I want, I'm going to add some more to my lower lash line to connect it around, and I'm going to go back and define it a little bit more. Now that the color's built up the way that I want it to be, I'm going to work on the center part of my lid. And first, I'm going to put down some of my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, just on the center of my eye where it's bare, so that the color that I put down on top will be extra bright. And I'm just going to tap that with my finger to blend it out. Now I'm going to take this pink called Love for the center of my eyelid. And I picked some of that up on this little tiny flat brush, and I'll just pat it on. I'm going to take some of Wild Child to put on top of that pink. But first, like I did before, I'm going to put a little bit of NYX Glitter Primer on top, just in the very center of my eye. And then I'm going to pat Wild Child on with my finger. I'm going to put a little bit of Dreamer right in the center of the lid. Just on top of Wild Child, right in the middle. I'm going to take a little bit of Wild Child, that bright pink shimmer, onto my lower lash line as well to kind of integrate that to the top lash. Or to the top lid. From here, I'm going to blend out the edges a little bit more, curl my eyelashes, and put on some mascara. Here's a close-up of the second look all done. And here's the second look all done with my full face. I like how this one came out. I don't usually do halo eyes, and I don't usually use these cool toned kind of colors, so I'm happy with it. I think it looks cool and it's different for me. Okay, let's jump into playing with more colors for the third look. For the final look with this palette, I created this bronze and gold ombre winged eyeliner with some pink in the inner corner. For this third look, I think I want to do some kind of eyeliner incorporating the glitters, and I'm going to lay down a base of black eyeliner first, just using my NYX Gel eyeliner and a little pointed brush from Ulta. I really like this dazzling color. I think it's nice and like bronze, and it's deeper, a lot deeper than Dreamer. So what I like about this is that it's going to be light, almost indistinguishable from my skin tone, and then it's going to gradually get darker into the wing, and that'll look really cool. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of Summer. And just like before, patting that onto the wing as we go farther out. And you guessed it, next I'm going to take Rose Gold and do the same thing. For my lower lash line, I'm going to take a little bit of Volatile, which I think is the only shade in this palette that I haven't used yet. And on this angle brush again, I'm just going to take that under my eye. For my inner corner, I'm going to take some of Wild Child just to add a pop of color. Looking at this, I think I need a little bit of black in my waterline, so I'm going to add some eyeliner. Next, to finish up the eyes, I'm just going to curl my eyelashes and put on some mascara. Here's a close-up of look number 3. This is a cool, like, ombre bronze eyeliner with a little pop of pink. And here's the final third look with my full face. Alright, well now after playing with all of the colors to create these 3 looks, I have to say that I'm really happy with this palette. I really like it. I think the colors are really unique and you can create a lot of versatility with the colors that are in here. So all in all, I love this palette. I'm so glad that I bought it and I will continue to use it all the time probably. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked it and I hope that it helps you out if you're trying to decide to buy this palette or not. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel so you can see more. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!